welcome to Inside Humphreys County. I'm Daryl Mosley. I'm the Executive Director of the Humphreys County Chamber of Commerce. And our guest this week is Bob Holliday. Bob is with the Johnsonville State Park. And as I just mentioned to him off the camera, there's a lot of us, of course, who are from here who are certainly familiar. We have a park out there. But I think the park has changed a lot over the years as far as the attention that people are giving it. And maybe it's because of there's so many activities that you do out there. What people may notice our backdrop here, preparing for the anniversary that's coming up this year for the 150th, I guess, anniversary. I was going to say celebration, but I wouldn't think that's the right word. The anniversary of the battle out there. But Bob, I appreciate you being here today. How did you get affiliated with the park in New Johnsonville?
Well, I was actually hired on as a park ranger in October of 2013. So I've just been with the state park system for about 10 months. Previously, I used to work at Land Between the Lakes National Recreation Area, where I worked at the Home Place Living History Farm. Mm-hmm. So I have a pretty extensive background doing public programs and working in a park environment. And with the work that's being done at Johnsonville State Park, it's really been within the last 2 or 3 years, especially with the development of the Welcome Center that's along Highway 70, mm-hmm. and a lot of the work that's been conducted by the Friends Group, by the park staff to do a lot of the advancements at the park. It's really starting to hit pay dirt, so to speak, I'd say, with all the improvements going on. So we do have the Welcome Center that opened in 2012 on site. We have about 8 miles of hiking trail. There's a lot of areas that have been opened up and cleared out within the last 2 to 3 years, which has really just made the park more come alive. We've had a lot of very positive comments from our visitors. There's still great opportunities for families to fish along the riverbank and also along Trace Creek. So there's good places to fish. There's also some nice places to picnic, and there's some great places to hike through the park. So there's nice outdoor recreational opportunities that are at Johnsonville State Park for families.
Well, that's fascinating. I know that, of course, I was always a history buff, and I was a history major in college. My daughter is a history major now, and I have been interested a lot in the historical things that you've done out there. I know recently you had I guess a gentleman, I was going to say a reenactor, but I'm not sure that's correct, but I guess was telling the story of Davy Crockett in a first person position, talking about his life and that sort of thing. And I know you've got another program coming up, I think, about Nathan Bedford Forrest. Do you have a lot of these that are part of what you do out there?
There are a number of programs that are scheduled through the park system. The Davy Crockett program that we held in July was a first-person program where we had a campfire program, and as part of that, Mr. Arthur Hunt portrayed Davy Crockett. We have an authors series that we were looking to promote in July. So we've had a gentleman from Nashville, Mr. Myers Brown, who came out and did a program on some of his books of photo images of the Civil War. And we're going to be having a person from Fort Donelson National Battlefield who will be doing a program on Nathan Bedford Forrest. So we do offer different programs like that through the summer events. We have our Junior Ranger Camp in June each year, which is a wonderful program, very, very popular in the community. What's nice is that, except for the Junior Ranger Camp, most of the programs that we offer at the state park are free and open to the public. So that's a really nice thing to be able to offer, is that families, seniors, persons don't really have to worry about that extra expense in order to attend a program at our park, is that they can come out and enjoy the program, get to see the park, just enjoy their Tennessee state lands. But those types of programs are kind of ongoing. The best place to look for information is through this type of webcast, as well as we have some events listed in the Humphreys County paper, and then also online at our website at TN State Parks.
Great. Yes, I'm certainly familiar with your website, and a lot of the information is on our website as well, and it links to your website, so we try to get the word out as much as we can. Now, because of, I guess, the anniversary and coming up, and of course the 150th year since this battle here, and of course there's so much Civil War history in this part of the country anyway. I know here at the Chamber of Commerce, on a weekly basis, I have people coming through who are just looking for the historic Civil War information and on their way to the park and that sort of thing. Now, as I understand it, like I said, and it's been a while since I have actually studied this specific battle, but there was I guess this was a land and water battle. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and there used, I guess there still is, there are a boat or boats that are still sunk underneath in the river down there.
That's my understanding, so there still is some wreckage in the Tennessee River, some of that from the Battle of Johnsonville, but how much of that remains, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm sure there's...
over the years, a lot of that has just been washed away by the river currents.
Of course. Now, but of course, it was a significant battle, and we're certainly familiar with the Battle of Franklin and other ones that are in the area, but this one right here in our backyard was significant, and I know you got several activities that are coming up in the fall that are kind of to commemorate this.
Yes, and commemorate is really a great word to use for this event, because there was a Battle of Johnsonville that occurred on November 4th of 1864, but what we're offering in cooperation with Nathan Bedford Forest State Park in Eva, Tennessee, is a commemorative living history event. So with our 150th anniversary event coming up October 31st through November 2nd of 2014 will be a pair of coinciding living history events. Whenever the battle occurred in November of 1864, Confederate forces under the command of General Nathan Bedford Forrest attacked from the western shore of the Tennessee River. They fired upon the Johnsonville Depot, sank the gunboats that were located there, but the Confederate forces never set foot in Johnsonville. So for that particular point of historical accuracy, it would be inappropriate for us to have a battle reenactment where we would have Confederate forces at the Johnsonville State Park. So in reverence for that, we're going to have a federal living history camp at the Johnsonville State Historic Park, and then coinciding will be a Confederate living history camp at Nathan Bedford Forest State Park over in Eva. So both camps will host some reenactors as well as civilians who portray life in the 1860s. We're going to have artillery demonstrations, infantry encampments, all throughout the weekend. So with having those events going on, we're really excited about that. We think it's going to be a fantastic chance to really highlight tourism opportunities here in Humphreys County. And with this being a 150th anniversary event, it's really going to be what we hope is also a gold star for Tennessee State Parks.
Well, that's great. I'm excited about it. I know that, like I said, there's already. I know it's still 2-3 months away, but there's already anticipation being built. I can tell from the communication I've had here. But all of these now, this is. Of course, this is a specific thing that you're doing. Obviously, the anniversary doesn't come around every year. But the other things that you mentioned, the other programs, and that's an ongoing thing that happens all the time, correct?
It is. And then also with having those scheduled programs, there's also opportunities for groups to visit the park. So if a church group, a school group, a Cub Scout pack, something like that, if they're interested in coming to the park and having a guided tour of the park, we can arrange that by contacting the park. Our phone number, 931-535-2789. A group can call and schedule for a time to visit the Welcome Center or to schedule a program at the park. And again, those are also free, offered by the state of Tennessee. Great.
Well, we appreciate that very much. There is some literature. Here's a copy of one of the brochures that they have for the state park. You can pick these up, of course, at the park. You can pick these up here. So if you're in town and you want to come by the Chamber of Commerce office and want to see that, and we have some other information as well about, say, the other events and some of the other historic things that are centered around the park out there. So it really kind of is a multi-purpose facility. I mean, it's historic and it's it's fishing and it's there's so many different. It's kind of appeals to everybody, really.
Right. There's something for everyone at Johnsonville State Historic Park.
Well, that's great. Well, Bob, I appreciate you so much being here today and giving us some information about this, and we'll continue to keep the folks aware of what's going on out there, and certainly getting prepared for the big celebration coming up in the fall.
Thank you.
Our guest is Bob Holliday with the Johnsonville State Park on This Week on Inside Humphreys County. See you next week.